maybe what we do at the end of this one day is we get, months down the road of doing these interviews, we relook at all the recordings and say, you know what, within this process, we wrote a book too. Who knows where this is going to go?
I'm
But
down.
if each week or each show that we do or each whatever that we're doing inspires us for what the next one is going to be, or inspires somebody to reach out with a question, let's create a tribe of people that just want to learn stuff,
Yeah,
and this isn't just all about you and me.
yeah.
It's about the people that are watching, that want to learn, that want to kind of join us for this journey, right? So I'm the um um sorry, just a sec. I'm I remember when I finished my coaching program in university, and one of the sort of attributes that came out of that was to be a lifelong learner, right? So I've always been a person in my life that shoots first, asks questions later. Like, if something looks good, I'll just jump at it and do it, right? Whether it's a business, whether it's whatever, I take that 5 minutes to kind of process and go, that makes sense. And you go at it 100%, right? And it's just kind of like the same thing that we're doing is, we don't have our complete roadmap ironed out on where we're going this, but I think that there's enough passion and conviction and desire in where we're going to go. We're going to let the spirit lead us on this. And what I'm hoping is if as people see what we're doing and want to sort of come along for the ride, I want to have experts join us. I want to have people with stories join us. Like, everybody's story is important, right? And what somebody's learned from that story is so important, right? So my story today, and where I'm at in my current life, is heavily influenced and engaged around silver, right? Because that's what I've been living in for the last number of years, and that's what has really opened up my eyes to natural health and kind of given me this broader understanding for this broader discussion, right? And it's given me this education to learn, understand, but more importantly, engage with so many people and learn their stories. But if there's people that are watching and listening this that are like, hey, I can be your expert on oregano, I can be your expert on tea tree oil, let's bring them in for the discussion. Like, I don't want this to be all about one thing, right? I don't want this to be salesy, or, of course we like it when people support our businesses because it puts food on the table, but it's not all about that. Like, I want to make sure that what we provide to people is broad, right? Because in the world of health, it's not a one size fits all discussion, right? There's many roads to natural wellness based on natural products and natural regimens and what people are doing. So, I don't want to push my beliefs down somebody's throat where they've got an equal great ability to make positive difference in people's lives.
Yeah. Well, and that broad knowledge, just from my personal experience, is like it's helped empower me as a mother, as a wife, where it took me from just the normal way of thinking, where I was just reactionary. I was a victim to things, and I just, it was just, I thought it was genetic or whatever it is, where once you have these tools, and yes, there's many, and we connected because I hunted you down because this stuff is so powerful. I've seen so many things where I was just so surprised that it took me this long to figure it out or to come across it. And so again, it's just knowing all the things and then knowing which one is best for you or your family in whatever situation. But it's just, there's so much out there that people aren't aware of yet that could really help change their lives, right? And just going from a place of fear to a place of peace when it comes to your health. And so that's really just, I'm so glad we've been able to connect. And I know there's just so much that's going to unfold with this. Like,
Totally.
it's just the connection, the timing. We don't even have the full roadmap, but there's something special, and there's going to be just helpful information that's going to be shared. And, if it touches one person's life, right, and changes that one life, it's all worth it. So.
And I think people just need to hear this discussion that we're having today.
Yeah.
Right? Like unedited, uncensored, unclipped. Like, this is just real raw discussion. And neither one of us have anything to gain by doing this other than just discussing it and what we're going to do. And we're just going to learn. And the cool thing is, and I think this is going to be beneficial to everybody that listens or watches or is a part of this, is because we're both kind of a couple dumb schmucks just dipping our toes in the water on this. We're going to come hopefully from a place and a voice and a conversation that other people are having in their minds as well, right? So rather than coming to people with the answers, we're coming to people with the questions that we go down the road with to find our answers on. And together we'll look at those, we'll debate them, this one makes sense. This is how dumb I am when it comes to this stuff. Is I got schooled the other day. I mean, schooled by a natural practitioner on mushrooms. And I always thought that mushrooms served two purposes. You bought them in the grocery store to cook or to get high. Right? Like that was my knowledge of mushrooms, right? Well, she got into, and we'll get her as a guest on this at some point. But I mean, she got into the actual true healing properties of mushrooms. Blew my mind, right? And that's a good place for us to explore and talk to people as well. As it's just like, so many people are told nowadays, take your probiotic, take your vitamins, okay, well, I'm doing it because I'm told to, right? Well, what's the why behind it? Why am I taking probiotics? Why am I taking vitamins? What are they doing for my body? And if we can just peel that little layer off of the why, to the how and that, then when people are looking at these kind of things and saying, okay, what do I need to take, or what do I need to take, or what's in this, or what's important to me, not only are you just getting the advertisement that you see online or wherever that, take this, take that, take this, buy mine because I got the sexiest label, or buy mine because I make it look all fancy and people dancing across the screen and all this other crap that people do to get people to buy products. Trust me, I've been in that world. I know that world probably better than anybody, right? So, the tricks that the natural health industry, or the quasi-natural health industry, because there's that whole middle ground of shit products in the middle of it too, that do to get people to buy their products, is the same stuff as this. They play the same emotional mind games. They do the same tactics, the same visual things, the music, the testimonials, the this and that, the other, buy me, buy me, buy me, is what they're basically telling you, right? So, not only are we educating people about what's going to be happening within this, in their body, it's really important that you understand what's going on when you take the natural route as well, and being able to, look at that, the supplement facts, or look at the ingredients deck on a product, and make sure that actually you're buying something of quality. So here's an interesting fact. I'm sure that most of the people who are watching this are going to be on Facebook or YouTube, right? And we're going to post this in our Facebook group. This is no BS. Most people are seeing many advertisements show up in their news feed for different health supplements. The big one right now is probiotics, right? And the reason why people are paying such close attention to probiotics is because it's a product that can pretty much be compliantly marketed from an FDA standpoint. And we'll get into that education on understanding the FDA and the DSHEA Act and natural supplements and that kind of thing, as we go with this. That's like a whole episode in itself. But anyways, probiotics are the trend right now. Everybody's buying probiotics. Everybody's marketing probiotics. I go on Facebook, I spend 15 minutes scrolling down my news feed. I've probably seen 15 probiotic ads. Interesting point that most people don't realize, that of those 15 probiotics that I just saw, probably 10 of them all come from the same manufacturer. Wow. So what a lot of people don't realize in the natural health space is, and this can be a whole other discussion / episode one day that we do in the future, is white labeling of on-demand health supplements. I don't do this. Everything that I'm a part of manufacturing is proprietary blends that we've spent years developing and testing and making sure that we're coming with our own products. But literally, I could set up a full-blown nutraceutical health product company in 15 minutes with up to 45 products for $1,000. And that's what people are being taught to do nowadays, is there's companies that drop ship and they call it print on demand health products, where I can go to one of these companies, I can design a sweet, sexy label, and I send that label to them. I set up a website with that label and write a whole bunch of bullshit about the products, because most of them are crap anyways. And, buy me, buy me, buy me. I made this fancy label and I told you all this crap about my product. Most people don't even know what they're talking about anyways. And now they're in the supplement market. And that's how a lot of that online health and wellness works. So I'm anti-big pharma. I've got my opinions on the FDA and the FTC, as we do. But there's also got to be some form of integrity into what us that are in the natural health supplement arena do as well. And I think it's important that, as much as we're educating people on, what's in the happy little hamburger helper here in life, we need to make sure that we're giving people the best fighting chance, that if they are choosing a natural health supplement, or they're choosing, a natural health product, that they're also educated as to what they're buying. And this is a discussion that most people are afraid to have, right? Because when you're in the natural health industry, so much of the natural health industry is this buy on demand, drop ship kind of health supplements that meet the absolute minimum necessary requirements to be good, that people are dumping their money down the toilet, right? So I want to make sure that in what we're doing, we're taking that overall big picture approach to education. And like I say, by no means did I ever want to say that I'm an expert on anything. But one thing I can say is I'm very, very knowledgeable about how this industry works. And if anybody's going to give $1 to their health, I want to make sure that that dollar is going to the best benefits of their health. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot, and I'm not going to pick on any brands, right? Or I'm not going to pick on any labels, because I don't think that's fair to do. But I'm just going to, like you've seen my at-home pharmacy here. It's the same discussion we're going to have with this that we're going to have with this, right? Like, let's just look at the facts, right? What's in this? What's the added ingredients? Like and natural supplements ain't cheap. This bottle of whatever it is, vitamin mineral supplement. I don't even know how good it is. I have to read it one day. $44, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you're taking this $44 bottle and you're taking a couple and then your pee's bright yellow, let's talk about that. Right? Like, let's talk about how much of this is going to be used for your body, because there's no sense in making an adaptive lifestyle change from this to this if you're just going to spend a whole bunch of money on this and not go in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Right? So let's tear this one apart too, and make sure that we're not healing, treating, curing anything, but we're just giving people solid information to make smart decisions. Mm-hmm. That the pennies and the dollars that they spend taking care of themselves are done, as efficiently as possible. Yeah. And people need to know, like, you go into let's just look at this for a sec. All right, so without looking at a label for a second, I'm just going to tilt my screen down here. Let's look at this. That one. I know I've got more. But so there's 4 products, 4 different company names, all the same product, all the same bottle, right? If I chase it back, it's all the same manufacturer. It's all coming from the same facility. These 4 people were just smart enough to come up with a label, tell a really cool story about their product, and convince you to buy their product. Wow. Right? So as much as there's deceit and deception that's happening in the grocery store brands of foods, it's also happening in the health supplements. And I don't want to say that we want to be a whistleblower, because that's not what we're being. We just want to educate people that what they're looking at is authentic, because there's a lot of deception going on. And there's a lot of tactics that are played on people online to purchase products that don't work. So I just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to educate people on both sides of the discussion on this stuff.
Yeah, got to keep the balance. And that's such an important story to tell, because that's what gives natural wellness a bad rap. That's why people give up on it so quick, because they're marketed by a company whose sole intention is just profit. Mm-hmm. And it's a not high quality product. And so the people spend all this money, they don't get any results, and therefore all natural medicines are bogus. And so it's really important to see that that big picture. Like there's multiple people selling the same thing, and you have to know what that thing is, and knowing the quality and how to decipher that quality. And that's something that, you know, I've been on this journey trying to figure out for my family, for my kids, for my husband, who got off all his pharmaceutical medication, and we started adding supplemental natural not medication, natural supplements. And so knowing that, I think the percent was like 80% of natural supplements are all just like bogus. They're not even what they claim to be. And there's no FDA regulations, and they're not forced to test or prove quality. Like that was huge. I was like, whoa, like most of the things you can buy out there are not what they claim to be, and have a lot of fillers, talking about chemicals, disruptors. And that's really making it hard for the truths in the true products, the ones that we're talking about, the ones we've experienced. It makes it hard for it to become more mainstream knowledge, because people just put it in a category with snake oil, right? And so that's really another important thing that's been on my heart, is just letting people know, have clarity on this, and just know the distinction with any business. Because think of whether it's big pharma or natural wellness modalities, like it all boils down to integrity, right? And so a lot of the way business people have been kind of molded in this generation is, it's all about maximizing profits. It's all about scaling. It's all about money, 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 right? But what about the people, right? So it really needs to shift from just being a way to make a quick buck, a way to, you know, trap someone into, you know, some type of medication for life. It has to be about serving that person and doing it from a place of love, a place of honesty. And when you do it that way, then it'll naturally bring the results, and people return customers, right? So yeah, I'm excited to tap into your brain, because you have that behind the scenes experience, which I'm on the other side. I'm the mama buying all the supplements, so you're you're the behind the scenes shipping them out, or
so and that's where, like I say, as much as I do have my challenges with the FDA, right? Because the FDA tells us people in the natural health space, and we'll have a story about what we went through last year with that side of things, you know, another time. But you know, the FDA rules on natural health supplements is you can't heal, treat, cure a health condition, right? And in my opinion, and I know we were going to stay away from opinions, but in my opinion, neither do they, right? But they are unfortunately the rule of law, whether we agree with it or not. It is what it is. So they say when you're going to sell a natural health supplement, you're not going to heal, treat, or cure any condition, right? So as much as I have my feelings and thoughts about that governing body, I do have to agree with them to a point that the holistic market played people for a long time and continue to do so, that there has to be something that regulates that people aren't getting duped and deceived. And you know, just like big pharma is extremely crafty at positioning their languaging around people. So here's an interesting fact. So years ago, pharmaceutical companies would hire pharmaceutical reps that would travel all over North America and visit the doctors and visit the private clinics, and basically they were the representatives of the drug companies to get the doctors to sell their prescriptions, right? You think about how many doctors' offices and how many hospitals there are in America. Thousands. So how many drug reps would you have to have? Thousands and thousands, right? And these guys would sit and wait for a doctor to get 10 minutes of their attention to try and sell them on selling their supplements. So where was pharma masterful is they switched the narrative. Now you see the happy people golfing, the guy running down the stairs in the morning to happy music after he took his Viagra, and the life is just great because he was able to do what he did as a result of taking that pill. And you see the old guys golfing, and life is great. You took your Humera, or whatever it is. It's always just this wonderful celebration of running down the beach holding hands because of your pharmaceutical application. And it's within their right to do that, right? So they run down the beach. You're going to not have such and such a condition anymore if you take that pill. But of the 45-second ad, you get the 15 seconds of the love, happy, joy, rainbows and unicorns. Then you get the other 30 seconds of, so it's great that you took this, but your head's going to fall off, your penis is going to fall off, your legs are going to turn orange, like all this kind of crap is going to happen to you. But hey, we tackled one thing over here, so it's good. So what Big Pharma did is they took to that marketing program. What's the thing that they say in every commercial? Ask your doctor about. Go see your doctor. So what they did is, rather than having drug reps going to visit the doctors, they turned people into drug reps going into into the doctor's offices saying, I need that pill because I saw it on TV and it's going to fix my this. And the doctor's going to go, okay, sure, there you go. So who's the salesperson now? It's not the doctor. They turn the people into the salesperson to request their drugs. Brilliant. They save billions of dollars a year in staffing and sales team, and they've just turned the population into salespeople taking control of their own health.
Wow, it's crazy.
People don't think about this kind of stuff, right? People do not think about these kind of things, and they just kind of merely go on with their lives, not thinking about the hows and the whys behind each subject that touches their lives in their health. Right? Yeah. We see Coca-Cola commercials, we see Pepsi commercials, we see soda pop commercials. Life is going to be better. You need it, you need it, you need it. Well, there's no discussion that we need to have on how bad that stuff is for you, right? So there's a lot with that.
I said 2 more hours on that topic.
Yeah. So I think as we go forward here, there's just so much for us to talk about and so much for us to explore.
Ooh, man, I'm excited. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. There's going to be a lot to cover here and a lot to learn together.
For all of us, for you, for me, for anybody that's watching, for anybody that we bring in to talk with us, this just needs to be an open discussion forum of learning, right? And if we're presenting incorrect information, it isn't out of fault, correct us. We don't want to be an authoritative figure on something that we're not presenting that's truthful. The last thing I ever want to do is present something that isn't completely proper. So this is a discussion, right? And people can comment on this video and what we're doing, and then let's just open up a dialogue here. But if we have that comment, or if we have that dialogue, if we keep it away from feeling or thinking, or thinking is bad.
Around here.
don't think. If we keep it away from the feeling behind it, or we keep it away from the emotion, and just keep it around the fact, right? Then we can have an intelligent conversation around things based on substance. Because I see in I see in Facebook all the time where somebody will post something and there's be 1,000 comments on it of just people's opinions about it, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. We want people to have an opinion always, but let's base that opinion in substance,
Mhm.
not just, I have an opinion because I feel like I think something. Like, okay, if you're going to think something, feel something, present a rebuttal based on some research and some fact. Same way that we're trying to bring information out there.
Yeah. And just thinking of that, like you were just talking about these pharmaceutical commercials, like that's how they're getting you to buy. That's how like the manipulation is kind of happening, in that it's all about emotion, right? And so
Totally.
like they're giving you an emotion without any, anything else behind it, any not truth. And so that's where things get lost. They get lost when emotions get overwhelmed, they're kind of blinding, right? Emotions are kind of blinding. You get set in your ways and you don't want to hear the other side, where the other side is going to give you a balanced perspective. So yes, we're going to do our best to keep our opinions, to a minimum. We'll try and keep it simple, straight to the facts that we learn, which, with scientific research, sometimes those facts shift, or the data shifts, I guess I should say. So we're here growing together, learning together, and we want y'all to join us. And so yeah, that's really it. I guess we don't have a clear plan set just yet, but we'll keep you posted. If you guys just want to subscribe or join whatever groups we have, like that's where we'll put it. And that's really it. Any final thoughts, Doug?
And we're here to serve. So if what we presented here today is empowering and you're taking something with it, give us a thumbs up, join, subscribe, be a part of this. But if you like our approach in presenting information and researching information, and there's certain topics that you would like us to tear apart for you, or go to the next level, like one of the things we said earlier in this broadcast was, we're on this course to learning. People are busy, and a lot of people are too busy to spend the time learning about a certain subject. So if there's something that you want to learn about, use us to do some research and present that in a future episode, so that we all learn this together, and hopefully we can take that time for you so you can carry on with your busy life, and we can bring that information back to you. So this is, a lot of what we bring forward, and a lot of the content that we put together is going to be put together from what you're asking us for as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see y'all in some more videos real soon.